Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Fortnite trying to either get rid of building or make building less significant in Fortnite, because obviously everybody building is a key mechanic in Fortnite, and with some recent updates Epic Games has been coming out with for Fortnite the Battle Royale, it seems to make building insignificant, not as important, easier to just win games without having to build. This includes a lot of the new updates and items that have been coming to the game. So yeah, let's just start talking about it. So first I want to start off with the new items that are coming to the game that kind of make building insignificant. So there's 3 items I want to touch on that are very common in the game. You find them very often. It's kind of, you see a lot of people using them. It's kind of like the newer players use them, which is the balloons, the turrets, the mountable turrets, and the dynamite. So obviously the balloons bring you up into the air. So imagine there's somebody up in a tower, built a tower, it's the final circle, or there's people having a build battle. Instead of having to build up to that tower, you can now use balloons to just float up there. No risk of being shot down, anything like that. You just float up there. It kind of, because before balloons, if there's a build battle and you want to get up there, you just build ramps up there. But now you can just use balloons, and you don't have to build ramps or anything. You don't have to get mats, and all that. The balloons just kind of make building insignificant. Building to high places, building big towers. You could build a big tower and just go up behind somebody and float up to the top and kill them very easily. The next thing I want to talk about is the mountable turrets, or the auto turrets, whatever you want to call them. I'm probably going to call them auto turrets or just turrets. I'll call them just turrets, actually. So the turrets obviously just came to the game, and they're ranked legendary, but obviously I don't think they're that rare. If you look at it, you find the turrets way more often than you will find chug jugs or golden scars or things like that. It's more like the turrets are like uncommon instead of legendary. So that's the first thing I want to say, because they say it's legendary, so it's like, oh, it's pretty OP, but it's difficult to find it, when in reality you can go into a game and end the game with like 2 or 3 turrets in your inventory. So that's my first problem with it. Second problem is, if somebody's built in front of you or somebody's in a build battle, you can literally place on a floor, place on a turret, and you just sit there and spam. It does so much damage. You can just laser somebody with it, and it is so easy to destroy structures with it. So if there's people build battling, or if there's a tower or something, just slap down a turret and fire away. It's just that easy. And personally, I don't think turrets should really be that overpowered. I think it's an interesting idea, but I don't think they should do that much damage to players or structures. And they should probably have a quicker cooldown than they do, or they shouldn't have as long of a lifespan before the cooldown as they do right now. The next thing I want to talk about is the dynamite that they came out with, which is very overpowered at destroying structures. Anytime you go and find these, it's a stack of 3, so you could easily go to a tower or build battle, building, anything, toss 3 dynamite there, then the whole thing is gone. It's that easy, and they are, what are they, rare or common? I think they're common, and you can run around with like 9 of those things, demolishing everything, and that kind of gets rid of building or getting into build battles. Let's say you rush somebody, you build a ramp, maybe a wall, or you start building up, and then that person, instead of building up towards you, they just toss 1 dynamite down, and they blow you up, or they pretend like they build. Like, you could place 2 ramps, see the other person is better at building, and then just toss a dynamite down to the bottom of their structure, just because that player is more skilled than you, instead of actually build battling them or things like that. The next thing I want to talk about is challenges in the Battle Pass. So I don't have the challenges pulled up right here with me, but I do remember the challenges in my mind. There is one for destroying players with dynamite, or destroying player structures with dynamite, and then there's one for dealing damage with explosive weapons, and then one for eliminations with explosive weapons, and then there's another one where I think it's kills or damage with smoke grenades, or clingers. So there's like half the challenges for this week, or at least a couple of them, a good part of them, have to deal with explosives, killing people with explosives, and destroying player structures with explosives. Which is really odd, because you think about it, why would they have all these challenges for explosives? Why would they do that? It doesn't really make sense. they could have one for sniper, one for explosives, things like that, and it would make way more sense. But why would they have all these different things? Well, what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to get players to discourage building, to get players into the habit of using explosives instead of building, and just all around make building insignificant. Maybe building would be like a worse strategy opposed to when you could just use one inventory slot for 9 dynamite, or however many dynamite will fit into a stack there. It might be better to just get those explosives and farming mats. They might try and make it so farming, hitting trees is just insignificant. Maybe you can run a whole game with 200 wood just because you might need to place down a wall so that somebody can't shoot you or rocket you. But other than that, there's people that will go farm a stack of materials for build battles, and in the future it won't matter that much with explosives. And if they keep doing all these explosives updates and challenges that encourage it for all newer players and just every player really that has the battle pass. And personally, I don't really think they should get rid of building, because building is a very competitive aspect of the game, if not the biggest competitive aspect of the whole game. Because thinking about it, aim doesn't really matter with bloom in the game, which if you don't know what bloom is, it's like a % chance, like you can aim onto somebody and there's a chance that your bullet still will not hit them. It's a whole deal. I don't want to really get into bloom and everything, but you know what bloom is, you know what I'm talking about. Great. And they're getting rid of building, which building, there's no bloom. It's pure skill if you're good at building. And it's really just a skill factor. And I really don't want to see Fortnite turn into a game where you're running a, maybe an AR, balloons, and explosives, because they made shotguns insignificant. They made building insignificant. You could just run around with those things, just laser somebody. You could run 2 SMGs, explosives, and balloons, and that would be the new meta, which I don't want to see that as the meta. I don't think that'd be a fun meta whatsoever. It's a meta, and I really like building, how competitive it can be to just show how much skill you have in the game and things like that. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to get this quick rant out because I've been thinking about it for a while, and I just wanted to upload it. So if you guys agree or disagree, leave a comment in the comment section below. I want to read those. If you disagree with me, explain why. I really want to see some points of why this would be good to make building insignificant. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and like if you haven't. We're going really fast, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate all of you who are subscribing. We're getting really close to 400. If not, by the time I upload it, we're at 400, because I might upload this day after and things like that. But if we hit 400 by the time this video's up, thank you. And if not, thank you anyways, because we're going to hit it soon, so that's really crazy. And yeah, I guess I'll see y'all in the next video. Also, join my Discord, link in the description. Goodbye.